And I absolutely want to dive into the relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. But how would you describe Prince Andrew and Fergie's relationship? It's quite unusual that they live together despite divorcing decades ago.
Yes, I mean, people are surprised by the relationship. They describe themselves as the happiest divorced couple in the world. They married in 86, separated in 92, and divorced in 96. But actually, what they have had, I think, is an open relationship. That you're right, they do live together in a 30-room mansion, so they don't have to sort of tiptoe past each other too much. But they have stuck together. He supported her when she went through all sorts of scandals of her own, and now she's supporting him. But really, she sticks in there because her whole raison d'etre is to be part of the royal family. So she has to be there. And I think he feels guilty for the way he treated her, or at least she makes him feel guilty. And so he sticks in there for her now. But his mother paid a lot of her debts, and those debts, of course, were taken over by Epstein, who paid many more of them.
Well, let's talk about those finances because the book dives into Prince Andrew's finances and allegations of corruption. Can you talk to us about what you discovered?
Yes, I mean, he was given this trade role on behalf of the British government to promote British trade. And what seems to be happening was that he used it to promote his own business activities or those of his friends. So, for example, he would shoehorn meetings for company people like Epstein or his business partners, David and Jonathan Rowland, for them to do business. He was, for example, promoting a Greek water firm in Kazakhstan, which had nothing to do with British interests, and creaming off a commission of £3.85 million. There have been several court cases which reveal that he was paid huge sums of money, which he's not able to explain, and money also that was paid to his wife and to one of his daughters. So this seems to be a family business. And there was no proper scrutiny of him. He was meant to, no one quite knew what he was doing. The Foreign Office has sent him places, but the diplomats found that actually he was counterproductive. He actually antagonized people rather than actually helping support trade.
Mm.
And then after he was basically sacked, he carried on with what was ostensibly a charity, Pitch at the Palace, but in which he set up a side company where he was taking a 2% commission on all the investment that was put into this charity. So I think there are a lot of questions for him to answer. MPs 20 years ago were asking our National Crime Agency to investigate him. Nothing was done. And I think there is a case for them to look at his situation again.
Mm. On Jeffrey Epstein, there are suggestions in the book that Epstein played Prince Andrew, that the prince was a useful idiot who gave him access to political leaders and business opportunities. Can you expand on that for us?
Yes, I mean, Andrew was a very useful a piece of respectability for Epstein. He gave him status and he gave him quite useful contacts, clearly through his role as a trade envoy. And he entertained Epstein, for example, at Sandringham, at Balmoral, at Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace. I mean, there's a big party where he invited Epstein and Harvey Weinstein as well. And for Andrew, Epstein provided, again, some useful contacts, someone who was busy paying off debts for the couple, and of course, who also provided women for Andrew.
Mm.
We have the famous case of Virginia Giuffre, but there were other women who were supplied to Andrew.
And the book also details other relationships that Prince Andrew had with women. There are suggestions that Prince Andrew put himself in compromising situations. You know, his reputation couldn't get much worse, but how damaging do you think some of these details that you've written about will actually be to him?
I think very damaging and very damaging to the family and indeed to the monarchy, because the monarchy was aware of what was going on. And in fact, I would argue colluded with him. His mother protected him, the Queen. He was, when there were complaints from Buckingham Palace, to Buckingham Palace from diplomats, they were ignored. She sort of entertained a lot of these dictators from Central Asia that he was doing business with, who were despots, I mean, who didn't believe in human rights and So I think, it is damaging, and it shows that there's not sufficient transparency about royal finances and actually about royal activity. Full stop. I mean, we're prepared to support our royal family, but not if they're on the take for themselves. So I think they need to look very carefully, cut him loose, but also look very carefully at, for example, how they shape the narrative. Because what was clear is they were trying to shut down this story. There's a famous episode with a journalist from ABC television in the States who had the Jeffrey and Andrew story years ago, and the palace threatened to cut off all contact with ABC, not allow them any interviews if they pursued this investigation. And that can't be right. Nobody is above the law, including the members of the royal family.
There are also bullying claims against Prince Andrew and also Meghan Markle. I have to ask you about her. What did you discover about Meghan?
Well, I mean, Meghan isn't really part of the book, but certainly there is an episode where Andrew got into a fight with Harry, saying that Meghan was not a suitable bride. This is in 2017. And Harry got very upset by that. But other members of the family, we know that William showed concern about Meghan and said he should go through due diligence. And I was researching another of my books in 2017 and talking to members of the royal household, and there were deep concerns at that stage about his involvement with Meghan Markle. So they saw her coming. Um, yes, Harry has denied that he got into a fight, but as we all know, recollections vary.
Andrew Lownie, author of the new book entitled The Rise and Fall of the House of York. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure.